Yeah. So basically that's it. I think we need to go back to our Revit. Yeah. So having said this now, you have this view, and then I also want to talk a bit about some of the tabs that you have in Revit, such that they are not new to you. So these are called tabs. You can see all these things, they are called tabs. You see the architectural tab, structural tab, steel tab, precast tab, system tab, insert tab, annotate tab, like that, and on and on. However, for the purpose of this class, we'll be focusing on what we really need. We are not doing architecture, so we are not doing structures. Though there are some tools we may use in architecture, so to say. However, it's not our primary concerns. There are some tools you can learn to use, maybe levels, detail lines, maybe levels and detail lines. A room separator line, you may not need it since you are not separating rooms. Maybe reference plane, just a few, so it's not our focus. On structures and steel too, we are not doing any precast, we are not doing anything. System. You see, as an MEP engineer, system is your go-to tool to use, whether you are a mechanical person or an electrical person. So you can see your dot placeholder, you can see dot fittings, your dot accessories, which are your dampers, convert flex to dot, flexible dot, air terminal. Air terminals are categories of diffusers, GRD, return, diffuser, register, and grill. You understand? So fabrication parts, you can see MEP stiffener, you can see P&ID modeling, mechanical equipment. You see all the things you need to be able to produce a mechanical model in a building service project. Yeah, to be as a building service engineer. All the mechanical things you do, they are here, your pipe accessory, dot accessory, flexible plumbing fixture, plumbing equipment, plumbing fixtures, sprinklers, you see electrical. If you click this drop down, you see all the electrical stuff. So the focus of this class is not electrical. So if you go to, I'm moving tab by tab like that. If you go to insert, and I need you to look at this thing and be able to know, because one thing about Revit that you need to know is that you may want to do something and you can forget where that particular thing is. So you may want to do something, where can I get this and all of those things? It comes with almost every software. But one thing with Revit is that it has so many different things that are loaded in it. So you need to familiarize yourself. And that's the essence of this class. So essence of this, our introductory class. So you see this is where you can link Revit, you can link IFC, you can link CAD, you can link topography, DWG markup. These are things you can link. This is a link panel. Understand this thing. It's a link panel. When I say go to insert, under the link panel, so this is a insert tab, link panel. You can see all the link there. Import, if you want to import anything to Revit, these are all lists of all the things you can import to Revit. You can import DWG, link image, you can manage your link, import card, import GBSMF file. This is another thing entirely. I did a presentation on this recently about how to link GBSMF file on this. If you go to my LinkedIn page, you see the PDF that I used for the presentation during the Big 5 conference. So import card, import all those things. So these are it. This is when you load the family, load a file, load it as a group, load family, load Autodesk family, insert from file, and all of those things. Now, the next thing you do, for every drawing you do, you annotate. You annotate. So you need to understand the Annotate tab has the dimension, it has details, it has text, it has tag, it has color field, it has symbols. Are you getting it? So it is all of those things, and this is where you do your dimensions, different types of dimensions. You want to spot elevation, you want to spot coordinates, you want to spot slope, you want to do radial dimension and all of those things. You want to create a detail line, a region, those are revision cloud, just like you do, you can do circle something to have a revision, detail group, insulation, text, Text, you have this text, check spelling, tag. The difference between tag and text is that tag is more intelligent than text. Text, you have to add code it. You know, in computer, when we say add coding, you know what it means. We are manually writing it. Okay. Thank you. You are manually writing it. So that's the difference between tag and tags. But with tags, you can call out what you need. Online people, are you with me? Because I'm not checking that screen. So if there's any issue, you let us know.
Yes, we are with you, sir.
All right, thank you. So that's the difference between tag and you can call out the property. You can call out the velocity of the pipe, the velocity in the pipe. You understand? But what you do in AutoCAD, you use your hand to write to write the flow of airflow, whatever flow. But in Revit, you can call out the property that is in that thing. I believe in the course of this class, we would lay our hands on that. So you can do duct legend. That's when I was talking about visualization. When I was talking about it, let me go back to the Excel. So all of these tools, analyzing, visual analysis in Revit, and all those things. So you can see the duct legend, the pipe legend. If you click on this thing, you can see that Revit will tell you what that thing is meant for. You can learn from that, just like with any software. You understand? So we can do keynotes, which is like one of the things we will do in our last two classes. Symbols, you know, all those things are what you can do here. These are for, you can see all these beam, material, these are for structural people. Tag all, you can say tag all. If you tag all, say tag all, it will tag everything in the view. So if you say tag all, it will tag everything you have in the view. So it can be messy. So now that's that about tag. Analyze. So the tools that Engineer Femi will be using during his class are most majorly will stem from these axes. So you understand? Spaces, space separator, space tag, space naming, zone, you know, all of those things. Some of these tools are what you'll be using during his class. So if you want to talk about schedules and reports, you understand? You see these, they are very important. Check system. These are some of the things we will also be using in the course of this class. Check system. So these are the tools. So now, by the end of this class, I believe you should know where you can find any tools. You understand? And I'm taking it slowly so that you can see, you don't miss out anything as far as those things is concerned. I'm going to it one by one. Check dot, check pipe, check circuit for electrical, show disconnect. You can show disconnect. This one can, if I want to quality check a model, I can use some of these things. If I want to check the quality of the model, what you have done, is it that you are just, you know, some people are fond of some practices that may not make analysis in Revit very, yeah. So I can use this to review some of your errors. This is a panel schedule. This is a quantity and schedule. If you click on this, the quantity of whatever you have done in Revit can be taken from this side. Now, quantity and schedule. This is dot pressure loss report. If you click on this, it will show you all the systems. It's because we don't have anything here. That's where we'll not be. Maybe I will even, yeah. So, but anyway, I'll speak with Engineer Femi on that. Let me not say it out here. So now these are, I mean, a lot of things for the cooling load calculation too. I know we'll be exploring some of these location, system zone. You know, we talked about system zone in the what's it called, creating an energy model. You know, system analysis. If you click on this now, it will tell you that you need to create an energy model. So those steps are what is going to take us to what is this again? Energy settings. So you need also to, you will also be exploring these settings too. There are a lot of settings with Revit. If you know how to understand how to set some of these settings very well, then it's, you know, it's a computing software. The principle of GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, is also very applicable. Yeah, I believe we are together. So now, having said all of these things, so electrical analysis, you know, these are just some of it. You can check some of them and just do a detailed study on some of them. What makes you a better user of Revit is your ability to be able to see a problem and find a way and know that, okay, if I want to do this, what's the best way, best procedure, which is some of the things we will expose you to. You need to do a lot of reading in the course of this 5 weeks. I'm encouraging you, please, let's raise more user of this software. So matching and citing, we don't necessarily need this. I'll go to collaborate. So this collaborate is also a very useful tool when you are working on a project that you are collaborating. When I mean collaborating, you are working on the cloud. You are collaborating with other people in different parts of the world or different part of your state or your country, as the place may be. Meaning that you are not, or you are in different geographical location, you are in different locations, so to say, and you are working on a single model. You know, you can create work sets for people that work on plumbing, for people that work on HVACs, for people that work on fire. You can even split plumbing. I can show you a model that we have about 7 or 8 people that develop that single model. You understand? So it's just the fact that in some part of the world, people don't specialize. In some part of the world, they specialize. Especially big companies that have the means to have a lot of staff on a project. So this is where you synchronize. You synchronize means that you are saving, you are syncing with the server so that other people you can reload latest, relinquish all, relinquish rights. You know, these are for collaborations anyway. This syncing too. You can show history, backup history, publish, and all those things. You can do copy monitor. We'll be working with this one too. What do we mean by this? We'll soon talk about copy monitor. Let me not stress myself to talk about it now because it's something you all have to get. I believe, and I also want you to join me as I do it. Coordinate review. Coordinate. You are reviewing something. You know, one thing about Revit is this. You need to know the difference between. Yeah, let me say this. I will talk about copy monitor later. So I need your attention. So coordinate review talks about when you have a project. You know, I believe we are all professionals, both people online and both people here. You can receive a drawing now. The architect may say that the headroom is 5 meters. When the structural engineer did his design calculation, he said, we can't have 5 meters. So if we want to have 5 meters in this place, you have to do a whole lot of, you spend so much on the building. Oh no, architect will now say, let's reduce this building to, let's say 4 meters. You understand? And you have done your initial design, all those things at a height of 5 meters. You understand? Maybe you have placed a lot of things in your what's it called. So when the architect sends the model again, this coordinate review is very important. You can sync, you can, you'll be able to what's it called. The same thing with copy monitor too. Copy monitor monitors what the architect has done, and you are copying what the architect has done. You know that in engineering we don't really have a model. We don't have not a model. I take that back. You don't really have a different architectural model. You work based on what the architect has done. Even if it is CAD, you work based on what the architect has done. Most time people turn the architectural file in AutoCAD into a block. Then you begin to do your own work on it. So when the architect changes something inside it, how do you know? So copy monitor helps you to copy and also what? Monitor. You can only monitor. You can use monitor alone, but when you copy, you can also monitor. Copy will also give you the advantage of monitoring. You do all those things. You see all those things. You can reconcile a host. Let's assume that when you have placed something at a height of let's say 4 meters, you want to reconcile the host. You can pick a new host. You understand? Host, we host something on the wall. Everything we do in MEP element are hosted based on something. Is they are hosted based on levels, or they are hosted based on levels most times, or wall. You are using your levels. You are using also your walls. You are using your things that can host your. They can be hosted on ceiling. All of those things. You can change the host of whatever it is you are doing. So interference check. You can also do some bit of interference check with Revit, but people have said that Revit is not the best tool to do interference check. You need to know what works for the best tool. People will talk about Navisworks, they will talk about all of those things. So different software have what they are very, very good in. You understand? You get. So yes, it's the class detection check. I think I should have used that word because people are more familiar with that word than interference. So it's a class detection tool in Revit. You understand? So the next one is view. This is when you can create your view. Do it the way it is. You can create your ceiling plan, floor plan, you know, sections, elevations. You can create, you can see that is view. It implies you have a view template. These are something that has to do with your graphics. So you have a visibility, filters, thin line, detail line, you know. These are like view. So you also have your 3D view. You can see you have different view. You can create walkthrough, 3D view, sections. You have your call out. You can create a call out, your plan view. We will soon be dealing with this. Let me not, because of our time. You have a drafting view. You understand? A drafting view is the view where you can do things that are basically drafting view. Yeah, you want to draft something. Not to the hand. Let me. Some people are calling about using. I mean, the first person that spoke was talking about how to use Revit for drafting. Revit is not for drafting; it's for modeling. You understand? So drafting view is what you do in the AutoCAD. You understand? You are drafting. So the things you do there, you can also use this drafting view. What people do is they use drafting view to link all of those details that people have done in Revit. They bring it, they have done in AutoCAD, all those default details that people put in their drawings, they put it on a drafting view. Whereas in drafting view, you can create that thing by yourself in Revit. But only that, because you are what you are restricted to in drafting view, you are still doing it as if you are working in AutoCAD. You understand? So you can duplicate a view. We'll be using this tool a lot, but we may be using this in another form, not necessarily the form in which we have this now. Duplicate the view. So these are things, these are places you can see. This panel is what? Create panel. Schedule, you can also do schedule from here. It will still take you the same way the other one took you. You understand? And you can do all kinds of schedule. You understand? So that's that. You can use scope box. I've talked about scope box, sheets. These are sheets. These things are also very important. You can switch window. You can do tab. This is window. This is for window. This is user interface. This is also very important. This canvas team mode is also important. If you see, if I change this now, you can see it's changing to dark mode. If I change it back, it's changing to what? White mode. I think the dark mode is better. Okay. But, all right. I believe that you can see it. Please mute yourself. I don't know who is speaking. So that's that about this view. These are things you can do with this view. With manage, you can do a whole lot of settings. I think I need to go back and show you something. On the system tab, if you click on this, it will take you to mechanical settings, which is very important. These are some of the things we discussed today. This is where you set so many things about your pipe. So if you click on this, it will take you to fabrication settings. If you click on this, you see there are different ways of click on this, it will take you to mechanical settings. So there are different ways of assessing your mechanical setting. If you click on this, it will take you to mechanical settings. So if you type MS on your computer, it will take you to mechanical settings. I did not click on anything. I just type MS. Are you getting it? So it will take you to mechanical settings. Now, having said all of this now, that's that. Let's move to manage. So in this manage, you can see your object style, object snap, material, you understand? Material, project information. You can enter the project information. These are things that can be used on your sheets. This project information can be used on your sheet. You understand? Material, project address, and all of those things can be filled. You understand? Now, yeah, you also have the project parameter. There are different parameters in Revit. It can be dicey, but I'll look for a way to simplify it. You have a project parameter. You can write it down. Online people, you can also write. You have project parameter, shared parameter, global parameter, family parameter. I think I've exhausted them. Project shared. Shared, yes, shared, as in you are sharing something. Shared. Family parameter. global parameter. Now, that is a parameter. Under it, under all of those things, you can have an instance parameter or a type parameter. We will get there. Type parameter or instance parameter. They are not part of those four because those four are high level. You understand? So those four are high level. So instance and type parameters. Instance and type. Just I'm going to share you a PDF on how to read up on that. But for the purpose of saying, I'm just saying that so that when we get there, when I'm saying it again, we learn by repetition sometimes, most times. So you have transfer project standard. This transfer project standard, if you have worked on a project before and you want to start another project, if there are things in that project, let me show you. Oh, no projects open. You need to have 2 projects that are opened. You understand? For you to use this parameter, you need to have 2 projects that are opened, and then you can transfer some of the things you have done on that project into this project so that you don't have to start the settings again from the beginning. You understand? So you can import line type, line weights, you can import pipe type, pipe settings, all of those things can be imported. You understand? So you can transfer project standard, you can purge unused. If you have a model that has been, when you are working, you might load, people that are using AutoCAD knows how to use purge because you want to reduce the size of your project. So that into, if you have some families that you have loaded into Revit that you don't want to use, you can purge it. You understand? Unit, this is a place where you can set the unit you want to use for your project. You understand? What type of unit do you want to set? Do you want to set change length? Depending on the services you want to work on. These are just common. You understand? Common units that we use. I hope you are with me. You get right? So electrical, you can set all the unit for electrical that you want to use here. You can set your unit for energy. You understand? These are the units you want to use. You can set your unit for HVAC. All the HVAC related units can be set here, right? You can set your infrastructural units. You can set your piping units. Are you getting it? So the shortcut to this is UN. You can be writing some of these shortcuts down. Shortcut is UN. How do you know that something has a shortcut? If you come here, you see in brackets, it's UN. And you can create your own shortcuts. Are we good? Now, you can see structural settings. You can see MEP settings. If you click on this now, click on this arrow drop down. You see you are seeing your mechanical settings, electrical settings, fabrication settings, load classification, load demand, space type settings. These are all the mechanical settings that are available. All the MEP settings generally. If you click on this now, it will take you to that MS. You understand? So I've shown you different ways to bring the additional settings. These are where you can set your line style, line weight, create a new line style, create a new line weight, line pattern, all of those things, half tone. We might use some of these things in the course of this class. So this is project location. You see, this is location. If you click on it, where will be the location of this project you want to do? Location, you can type the location. Let me use a city I'm very familiar with. I'll use Lagos, Nigeria. Pardon me for being, if I search. So, it's part of some of those things that I think Engineer Femi might talk about. So, location, you geolocate the project. You talk about coordinates. Coordinates, you can acquire coordinates. So, this is another thing you need to understand. You can acquire the coordinates that is in the model. If your model has been properly geolocated. So, what you are doing in Revit, online people, are you with me?
Yes,
online?
sir.
All right, thank you. Another person online, are you with me? Are you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir, we are with you.
All right. So you can acquire coordinates. So mechanical, I know a lot of people knows how to use, a lot of people say they know how to use Revit. Sometimes they don't know the implication of some of these things. So you can acquire, especially when you are doing analysis. And what most people use Revit for are for just to more like what you do in AutoCAD. So if you want to do some analysis, like cooling load analysis in Revit, some of these acquire coordinates might be useful for you because you are acquiring the coordinate that has been specified in the architectural model. You know, how does an architect work? Let me see. An architect does not just work on something. Most times we say project originate from them. It's right and it's also wrong. You understand? Projects don't really, we have the honor of one of our facilitators just coming in now. Let's clap for him. Unlike you can also clap for him. He's engineer Ridwan Salam. So, projects don't just originate from architects. They are not the first originator of projects. Sometimes what projects start from a land surveyor who has surveyed the land, has given that this project is in so-so coordinates, and they have specified the coordinate of those points. So it is based on those coordinates that your architect, some architects even don't work with coordinate on Revit. They just work on the model, like they just create their own, what's it called? So your architect can give you a base point, what do I mean? A base file that has the coordinate of the building, in which you model your project, develop your site, and now start modeling whatever you want to model as an architect. Are you getting it? So if you are working with those kind of architect that does not understand all these coordinate system, geographic system, they may not make your workflow easy and good to work with. You understand? So if they have given you a base point coordinate system and all those things, you can acquire the coordinate that is in the architectural model and use it to, so your project will now be in that location, because everything you are seeing in Revit is the real world coordinate system that they have modeled in Revit. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Online people, did you get what I'm saying? So they model the real world coordinate system in Revit. You understand? So now, design option. We can do design option in Revit. You can do different design in Revit. And then you tell your clients to see this is the option 1, option 2, and all those things. That's what design option is talking about. But I think people really use it because of the sense of doing things in, we really do that for clients, except if the client says the money is too much. I mean, maybe in this part of the world anyway. So, a generative design, you have managed property, facing. In Revit, you can, the concept of facing in Revit is as easy as the concept of, you can simulate a project. Like, let's assume you want to do a retrofit project. I think that's the best way to describe it. You want to do a retrofit project. When you want to do a retrofit project and you have a model of the project, you can show the faces of the project. Do you understand what I mean? Face of the project. You know, the old face is an old face. The new face, okay, maybe they want to change one dot design, or they want to change the piping system. They want to introduce a new toilet as far as the project is concerned. You understand? Or they want to, maybe they don't have a sprinkler system. They want to have a fire system. They want to have a fire hose. The building does not have a fire hose. There's no firefighting in the building. You want to do it again. Then you need to, you can, if you have an existing model, you can show that this is this project that it was before. You put those things in faces. You have new. You also want to have, let's say, architecture now, for example, architecture. You want to, let's assume this place now, you want to partition it. You understand? You know, you can demolish a wall. You can show a demolition plan in Revit and say that, okay, this is the old architectural drawing. This is the new architectural drawing. So that's what facing talks about. You can flow, and you also have what we call face filter. That's that on that. Yeah, Dynamo is also another thing that is an advanced way of using Revit for programming. So if you have add-ins, these are the add-ins that I have or plugin that I have for Revit. So if you click on this one, if you have any plugin that enables your work to be faster and all those things. So this is the plugin I use for Anger. I bought it anyway. It's on Autodesk Play Store. So this is it. This one is free, Microdex. It helps if you are modeling pipes and all those things. It may save your life, because let me tell you this: one of the hardest thing to do in Revit is doing piping, because it comes with a couple of errors if you don't know what you are doing. If you don't know what are the things you need to check, it will tell you this pipe is not what's it called. So, I mean, modeling dots might be easy, but for mechanical engineer, I think piping can be somehow funny and can throw up a whole lot of warning and error, which is one of the things that I would say that hinder people from learning Revit, because a whole lot of errors. And again, if you understand most of the things we'll be teaching in this course, and I think that a larger percentage of those errors would have been rectified in the course of this class. Another thing we will try to do is that as we are having any error, we will explain some of those things and see what is wrong so that you can learn from it. You understand? So that's that about that. Modify tool. This modify tool is also very useful and helpful. It's more like one of the best commands you use in your AutoCAD. This is when you see offset, move, copy, offset, mirror, rotate, split element, split with gap. You can pin your model, because sometimes if you don't pin your model might go off the line, off the tangent, right? So you want to delete, you want to trim, extend. These are also very useful when you are doing some things and you don't want to use your hand to do it. You want Revit to connect. There's a pipe on this side, there's a pipe on another side. You just want Revit to do it for you. You understand? So you see what is happening now. If you see the image on the picture, you see now, it wants you to join. You see, you can do it and extend, trim. You see, it has trimmed that thing. So that's that. This is measure. We will use some of these things. I think that's that. Then another side I need to tell you is this side. This is property. You see, when I click on it now, it has disappeared. The property browser has disappeared. So if you type properties, you can see type property. This is clipboard copy. This copy is also helps you during your model. I hope we will use it in the course of this class. I hope. You can copy a model. You can copy from one model to another model using this kind of copy. But with this type of copy, you can't copy. You can copy within project. This is for within project. This is for from project to project. You understand? And you can copy, then you can then do this. Will not work now, but you align to different views, align to different. You can copy your text. Let's assume you have a project and what you are duplicating, what is on one is on what is on another. A typical flow, and you want to copy the annotations and all those things. Those things are waste that make your work smarter and faster. You understand? So these are just these tabs that we have done now. Yeah, I hope there's no question. We have another. How many minutes do we have more? 70 minutes more. Okay.
On the tabs.
Yes.
The micro desk tab.
It's a free tool. You can get it on Autodesk Store. It's a free tool. This Autodesk is a free tool. But you have to learn how to use some of these things. You understand? And sometimes it is better. And that's one thing about certain things. You have to learn how to use a tool before you do and compare if it's saving your workflow. You understand? So I think it's a tool that I've used it at one point in time or so. But it's been a while that I've used it. I downloaded it recently because I wanted to show people doing a training. It's been a while I've used it anyway.
But if one downloaded it, where would it be paste?
No, you install it the way you are installing it, and it will sync with your Autodesk.
Is there a way?
Is there a way?
Is there a way AI can assist you?
Yes, AI. There are a lot of hello. It's a good question anyway. There are a lot of ways AI can help you with Revit. However, I think the first thing you need to understand is that you need to understand how Revit actually work before you use AI. Like you are using AI to write, I don't know, even when you're using AI to write, you know that there are a lot of AI too. I remember Inafemi sent one to me, and these are some of the things I said we shared. He shared me one, oh, have you explored this? I said, oh, I know that I've not seen this one, but there are some that someone shared with me that I've not really explored. So, and the one thing about this field is that you need to stay up and start learning. You understand? You need to stay up to date and start learning. The world is changing. We're in a world where things are moving very fast than you. You have not even finished knowing how to use 2026 before you know it. 2027 is out. I'm going to work on a project now. It's 2027 we are using on the project because I work with a team of guys who likes to use the recent version of Revit to work. Sometimes there are changes, sometimes there are no changes. Sometimes you're also looking at your system requirements. I have 4 versions of Revit installed on this software. You understand? That means I have to upgrade some of my projects from 2023 to 2024 or something like that. So it's you have to stay up to date. Yeah? He shared some with me. Maybe we will demo it or we'll do another webinar of it. Because the goal of this class is to explain the rudiments and ensure that people get the basis of how Revit software works and how you can use it to optimize your processes. Any questions from people online? Online people, do you have any question?
Please, I have a question, Mr. Engineer Adebayo.
Okay, I'm with you. Who's speaking,
Okay.
please? Can you mention your name?
Drawing. If the architectural send me a drawing using an AutoCAD, can I convert it to Revit?
Is a yes and no question if you know what to do. Yes, in the sense that you can convert the architectural file that is AutoCAD into Revit. You understand? However, you can use the architectural file to work in Revit. You understand? A good example, I may show you something now. I can show you something. I can show you a drawing. I hope I can pull it out. I can show you a drawing that was done in the architect sent us an AutoCAD file while we use Revit to model it. Let me see if I can. Let me stop sharing and pull it out. I'll stop sharing and share back.
So, engineer, while you are searching for that, can I ask a question?
Okay, we can go on. I hope
My name is Olarewaju Adeniyi.
Sorry, I didn't hear your name very well, please.
Olarewaju Adeniyi.
Olarewaju Adeniyi. Yeah. Can you move close to your mic?
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, you can continue. Shoot.
Okay, so my question is talking about the upgrade of the Revit. So can I, like AutoCAD now, I can use 2026 AutoCAD and save to 2027, save to 2010. Can Revit does the same? Can I save to lower version on Revit?
No, you can't save to lower version.
Okay.
You can't save to lower version in Revit. I think I said it before in the beginning of the class that Revit is not backward compatible. You get it's not backward compatible.
Yes, you said that.
Yes, so that's what I mean by Revit is not. That's that grammar. That's what I mean by it. So you see this project now. Are you with me? It was done by one of the participants of this class. Online, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your face, sir.
Yeah. We can, sir.
Okay. So this project, they sent us an AutoCAD file for it. Are you getting it? And we used Revit to do it. It was done by Bolaji here. So he's also a participant of this training. So you see what has happened now. We were sent an AutoCAD file, but we use Revit to do it. Perhaps, maybe if time permits us, I doubt that, I can show you the workflow around that. Whereas, you can see that it's able to generate all this detail because you use Revit. It's able to it makes generating this kind of section or this kind of 3D view easy when you compare it to using AutoCAD file. Are you getting it? So I hope I've answered that question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
that's we got an AutoCAD file and we're able to use Revit. For me, I prefer to work with Revit. If you know what I'm saying, then maybe you will thank me later or you appreciate it. It makes your life easy. You are not offsetting one line, do one line. Imagine you want to do this line in Revit, in AutoCAD. It will take you how many days? It will take you a couple of hours. Or this is a double line. Maybe I need to make you see it zoom in. So you have to be doing all these draw one line offset, and all of those things. So I think it just makes your life easy. Anyway, that's that on that. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Afis, you can shoot.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, I just want to, in a situation whereby an architect or a client actually sent an architectural drawing in PDF, is there any way somebody can work on it directly using Revit?
It is a yes. Well, I would say that you also have to know one thing, that all of those workflows are. Do you know that you can convert PDF to AutoCAD? They are paid tools and free tools that you can convert PDF to AutoCAD. And if you look at what I have told you before when I was explaining the tab, where is it? When I was explaining all those tabs, I told you that if you come to this insert, you can insert PDF into Revit, but you have to know it may be complicated, and the reason is you have to know how importing a card. Let me just go to my desktop. Let me see if I can see any PDF. How that card file will work. I'm just saying ground floor workshop. You can see this. So you need to understand how this workflow works. So sometimes, you have different things. You have page setup. You need to understand all these workflow. For me, I would just say that, why do you want to link PDF? That's why I'm saying yes and no. Perhaps maybe you should have converted it to AutoCAD and check the scale in AutoCAD. On the PDF, you may not be able to check the scale. And then you are just there. You understand? So that's what I think anyway. I hope I answered your question. I hope that suffices.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any other question? And if you are here, if you want to add to the question, you can speak, sir. Or you have anything you want to say, you can let me know, sir.
Yeah,
so
you are correct. The truth is, every file type that you see in the insert tab can be used. The challenge with PDF will be scaling. However, there are times you are preparing some detail or preparing some documents whereby they were available to you in PDF, not necessarily drawing or graphical, but maybe some detail notes or some symbols. It could be as image, it could be as PDF. Those are the essence of those two. But if you want to use it for drafting, it's better you convert it to CAD, because even if you do, there is a way you can use the PDF and scale it, but the scale have factors like 0.00 something, which will, at the end of the day, affect your quantity, your layout, and everything. So that's what I can say about that.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Yeah. Having said that, I think we'll just start our break now. We'll return by 12:45, right? If you still have any question, you can ask. And in the meantime, online participants and physical participants, I want you to open your Revit and do what I have done up to this stage while you are still on the break. Anyway, I think this won't take you 3 minutes to do.
Hello, sir.
Online people, do you have?
Hello, sir.
Yes?
I have a question, sir.
You have a question? You ask your question. We say have 6 more minutes.
Okay, so
can you speak louder?
Okay, can we open a higher version on a lower version, a Revit? Is it possible?
No, I think we've exhausted this thing. We said it again. And let me say it again. I'll say it, maybe I'll say it, I'll use another grammar. Well, I'll use
The
the
question
grammar.
before was, sorry, sir. The question before
Okay.
was, you cannot save in the lower version. So my own question is, if I have a Revit done in a higher version, say 2024 for now, then maybe I want to open it. I don't have that same version. I have a 2022 version, for instance. Can I open that 2024 on that 2022 version?
Okay, thank you for your question. Good question. So I'll say what I said before, and I'll then build up on that. So Revit is not backward compatible. You understand? What you have done is, if you have done something in 2024, 2023, even 2023 cannot open it, not to talk of 2022. Are you getting me? It's not backward compatible. Even if you have done anything in 2024, you must use 2024 or higher version. You understand? Whatever projects you do at a particular version, you need to use an higher version or that same version to open it. Any lower version cannot open it. You can't even save it as. There's no save as like that. I don't know.
Okay,
There's no save as.
let me add for that clarification.
Thank you, sir.
See it this way. If you are working on a project, yourself and the team must agree on what year of Revit to be used. If the architect is working on 2023, you cannot work, or if you work on 2024 or higher version, you will only be able to provide CAD file for him or her. If you receive a version higher than yours, you cannot work with it unless you install the same version which it was received in. So the key thing is having this agreement before the start of the project. We are going to use this particular year of Revit so that you avoid any conflict of either I can save as or I can, because the truth is, if you receive as 2023 and you use 2027 to access it, fine, it will work. The moment you save, the people with 2023 can no longer access it. So that's what I want to clarify.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, let me give you a case in point. There's a project I worked on recently. We started that is more like an estate. We started the project using Revit 2024. They updated the model, they made some changes, they came with Revit 2026. I told them that we don't have, and again, see, as the version of model goes higher, you understand? So as the version of the model goes higher, your system requirement is also high. Are you getting it? So you need to be very careful which model you have. So I told the architect, they have to do it in 2024 backward. You understand? Because we have 2-3 people that are working with you that may not have, that their system requirement may not, you understand? Just to tell what Engineer Femi is saying is that there's something we call BIM execution plan. And that's what he's talking about. That there is a plan as to how we want to execute these projects. A BIM project, which is what Revit as a tool supports, you understand? Because Revit is a BIM tool, you understand? So you need to come together and say that this is the model we are using. You have sent me in 2024. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you send me another one in 2026. How do you expect me? Let's assume I don't have it. And I'm working with people that may not have those kind of what's it called. So I believe this is clear and everyone can understand, because we have exhausted this conversation and that question a lot. I believe everyone should be clear now. I'm giving a whole lot of clarity to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, we can start our break now. And we online people, I hope you are still with us, and I want you to stay with us. Don't just rely on the recording, please. Let's ensure that we maximize and learn from the class before we learn from the recording. So thank you. I'll have to break this recording again and stop recording. Then we meet again by 12:45. Thank you for your time, and thank you for staying with us.
Thank you, sir.